Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravos Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Luna, get off my desk. That's not for you to play. Oh my God, she's been acting up since I came back. Luna, stop it. Down, down, down. My baby, my kitty cat, has been so affectionate and needy since I came back. But here we are. It is Wednesday, January 22nd. I had a wonderful time in the mountains. I will be unpacking and editing and preparing all the photos and videos that I took to share with you in the next few days. I hope you survive my digital assistants, my artificial intelligence generated counterparts that I presented to you while I was gone. And I hope you had a great weekend. We had a great time, and I am looking forward to presenting everything we found. I will advance this much. This time around, I was very mindful of traveling with the mindset of someone that doesn't speak Spanish. Because for all the encouragement we present here at Coffee and Headlines for you to go and explore Mexico and the pueblos and this, that, and the other, there is an art and a science to it, particularly when you don't know the language, and there are cultural expectations that may not align with the reality of traveling through Mexico. So as always, I will be presenting photos and videos in the next few days, and as always, we will not sugarcoat the experience. And what I mean by that is Mexico is beautiful and it's great to explore. And the pueblos mágicos that are near Puerto Vallarta are absolutely fantastic. But each one of them has its own unique quirks. And that's what we're going to be focusing on the next few days. Today, of course, we're playing catch up because there are some interesting news items that I found that you may have missed. So I'm going to be presenting those today. As always, if you have any important questions to share, please do so with a capital letter Q. And if you are new to the live broadcast, it would mean so much to us if you type a capital letter N in your comment, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. And also, I personally would appreciate any comments you have about the experience dealing with AI presenters. No, it's not like I'm going to go away or I'm going to rely more on these, but I find it fascinating how technology is evolving in such a way that we can actually create these conversations the way I did. Enough of that. That was a long presentation. I came back. Yes, I just said enough of that. So I'm going to continue with the news. And then if you have any specific questions or comments, we'll deal with them in the comment section. Let's start with the news. Let's take a quick look. As we mentioned last week, Mayor Munguia presented his 100 Days of Government speech at the Los Arcos Amphitheater this past Saturday. Banderas News offers a nice summary of his accomplishments, which you will find in the show notes in case you missed this news item. Everywhere you look nowadays, there is more traffic, and I really can attest to that, having just come back from the mountains. So it's comforting to see that Mayor Munguia is devoting so much energy and budget to the construction and improvement of our streets. This time around, he kicked off the pavement project along Federación Avenue, which will eventually connect with the recently renamed Amado Nervo Bridge. a little bit of context here. The bridge, which used to be called the Federación Bridge, is already, there's a budget for it. They say it'll take 2 years to complete. But it's not only about the bridge, there has to be pavement connected to it on the Jalisco side for the bridge to have any favorable impact. And the local government has smartly started on that aspect of the project with local funds, while the federal government aligns their funding to continue the construction of the bridge itself. Now, moving right along, this has to be awkward for the Guadalajara University local campus after a number of Casquito turtles were stolen from the campus. Federal authorities have seized the remaining turtles for safety purposes. The species, as you know, is endemic to Puerto Vallarta and endangered. In addition, in coordination with environmental institutions, the government has been asked to reinforce the security of similar species in other places. Local and federal authorities have also been alerted about the incident, and their collaboration has been requested to monitor any attempt at illegal trafficking of specimens. But again, for me, it must be sad for the university to realize that they don't have enough safety in place for these beautiful specimens, and it's unfortunate that they got stolen. I read elsewhere that it has been pretty much not guaranteed, but understood that the species are now outside of the country and they are being trafficked illegally. Moving right along, starting this week, the cleaning and washing of the streets of the city center of El Centro and Emiliano Zapata began during the first hours of each day. This was reported by Javier Navarro Chavez, who's the director of a new department in the city, which is called Efficient Services. This is what used to be Municipal Public Services. So moving forward, a crew that was created for these tasks and a pump have been assigned to sweep and wash the streets and public spaces from Hidalgo Park to the Los Muertos Pier, starting at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. I believe actually it's Monday through Saturdays. He also explained that this will be a permanent plan during the current municipal administration that began 4 days ago. Not the administration, but the plan began 4 days ago. And the purpose is to make the whole city, or at least the tourist popular sections of the city, for them to appear more clean. I cannot even articulate this morning. Clearly, I need more coffee to do my work. And I'm going to do one of these now. Another cold front is headed our way this morning, which explains why it was so cold early this morning. Let's see what our snarky weather has to say about that as I switch screens. Oh dear, you have to leave the World Health Organization and the Paris Agreement behind if you're going to play on nightmare difficulty. I know what that is about, but I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not going to touch anything that is happening north of the border. It is happening, and there's only so much we can do about that. 21 degrees right now. Humidity is lowish at 68%. And our weather forecast indicates that we're going to experience clear skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 15. Tomorrow, Thursday, clear skies throughout the day with a high of 25 and a low of 14. And then on Friday, again, clear skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 14. Cold temperatures coming up in the next few days, so just make sure to bundle up. Now, let me see. Oh, dear. This is not funny, but it's certainly peculiar. Waking up in your car the morning after and finding yourself on the beach without remembering how you got there is no fun. But this happened to a senior man this past Saturday morning. The driver explained that he suffers from hypertension and seemed to be disoriented when the police knocked on his car window in the morning after, and he was interviewed. Fortunately, there were no physical or material damages, but this definitely lands in our list of peculiar Puerto Vallarta incidents. There's a lot of events, there's a lot of reminders and new events that I want to tell you about. El Rey Lounge continues with its weekly um, gathering benefiting the Sula Society, which is a dog rescue agency in Puerto Vallarta that was founded by a mother and daughter duo that they rescue and rehabilitate dogs that have had a rough start in life. And these events at El Rey Lounge help to benefit the society. This happens on Friday from 2 to 5, at least for the next foreseeable weeks. And also this Friday from 6 to 9, Galeria Contempo will celebrate an opening reception for Maritza Vasquez Blue, who will be in attendance. The renowned sculptor is responsible for the sea urchin sculpture on the Malecón. And personally, I'm quite fascinated by her tabletop sculptures of vintage crochet dresses, which are part of the permanent collection at the gallery. So here are two examples of her work. The one on the left I've seen in person, and it looks like a cute little tiny crochet dress, but believe it or not, this is cast. It's a metal sculpture, and the one on the right is a large format piece. So this should be an interesting and fascinating opening reception happening this Friday, of course, along with the art walk that happens every other Friday in the Basilio Vadillo Street and surrounding area. So this is something that you may not want to miss if you appreciate this kind of work. I also found out this morning that the latest edition of the Grill Kings Festival is coming back to Puerto Vallarta on Sunday, February 2nd at noon at Parque Hidalgo. This highly anticipated event is a must for food lovers and grill enthusiasts alike. I will include the links to this news item from Banderas News in the show notes, along with the Grill Kings Facebook page for your reference and for additional information. I receive a fair amount of information requests about the International Charro Championship, which will take place in Puerto Vallarta from January 30th to February the 2nd. As such, I will also share the link to this article in the show notes. Thank you so much, Banderas News, for making my work easier and sharing these useful articles. It is a pleasure to be able to replicate them here for you to explore at your leisure. Vocalist Delilah Boku begins her seasonal series of jazz and piano presentations at the Ovations Piano Bar this evening. We will have an opportunity to chat with her in the spotlight on March 5th, just to see what she brings to the table. And speaking of the spotlight, of course, we're going to enjoy three interesting presentations this afternoon. Local singer and actor Shay Byrne is going to talk about his new album. Gary Green is going to, from the Amapas Neighborhood Association, is going to join us to discuss and tell us about the upcoming music fundraiser that they're going to have at a local restaurant, which looks like this. This is the second annual Rock the River fundraiser at La Huerta Bar and Grill. And of course, we're also going to be joined by our friend Pamela Shepard, who makes homemade jelly and other treats, and why you may want to purchase them. And we find out where they are available for sale and what not. Also, we can start looking at some of the things that are coming up on the spotlight in the month of February. We still have 2 open spots for the last week of February. But in the meantime, it's starting to look really interesting. I love the fact that there are all these people now willingly coming or looking forward to joining me on the spotlight so we can learn more about what they do. And tomorrow, of course, is my Say What presentation at the Joint Boutique Hotel tomorrow at 5 p.m. And this is where we explore what happens when lyrics say more than they seem. And this, of course, has to do with either lyrics we misunderstood or with songs that have deeper meanings than we imagined based on comments by the performers. This should be a fun and interesting gathering tomorrow at the Joint. And I understand that our friend and community partner Stan will make an interesting announcement, or maybe he has already made it. I haven't seen your comments yet about a special treat that will be available tomorrow for those attending the presentation. And before we get into your comments, here's a little personal vignette. I know that people are attracted to different kinds of living here in Puerto Vallarta. Some people like the spectacular views and living up on the hills where they're not going to be bothered by anyone, and that's okay. And some of us like living in the heart of the city because it invites us to connect on a regular basis with our surroundings. And I belong to the latter group. I like walking around my neighborhood, saying hello to people, stopping at businesses, being recognized by my name, developing relationships with locals. That nurtures me, and that's my side of that equation. To all the people that live up on the hills in your fabulous mansions, good for you. But yesterday, I found myself running a few errands in my neighborhood, of course, and I stopped by Los Abuelos Bakery, which I talk about frequently, because I wanted to get a piece of bread for supper. And it was so funny because the abuela, the mom of the baker that operates the bakery, she offered me a free piece of bread. And when she was giving it to me, she winked at me. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to show you the weather. She winked at me and went like this, as in, would you take a photograph of it and show it to your audience? And of course, I have a soft spot for this bakery, and they are now making the most delicious opera cake, gâteau opéra. This is a French cake made with layers of almond sponge cake, known as Joconde in French, and it is soaked in coffee syrup, layered with ganache and coffee, or sometimes Grand Marnier. Fresh buttercream, and it is covered in a chocolate glaze. Its name originates from its layers resembling the levels of an opera house. So this is now available at Los Abuelos Bakery. And again, there's something for me about supporting local businesses, supporting small businesses, and having that kind of familiarity with the neighborhood. So if you are in my neighborhood, if you are in La Vena, if you are in Versalles, or if you're driving to Costco or back from Costco and you pass Los Abuelos Bakery, don't hesitate to stop by and shop for some of their wonderful treats. I think they're absolutely delicious. Okay. I am so giddy. Look at all those mornings and welcomes. We missed you, says Sherry. I missed you too. I caught glimpses of the broadcasts over the weekend. And again, I hope you were at least slightly amused. Sherry then reminds us that she has 6 days to go. I love when you all count your days. Muffin, it was a pleasure to travel with you over the weekend as always. First day back on my bike in almost a week, and first day actually being able to watch Coffee and Headlines on my desktop. Yay, I love it. Paula says, more pictures, please. Trust me, friend, there are many more photographs coming our way. Ba-dum-bum-bum. And yes, David, I had amazing time. I had been to Talpa before many times. It had been a while, and I found myself re-enchanted by this little town. Mascota, well, I'll have updates in the next couple of days. Let's see. Purum pum pim. Uh, oh, Laura. I'm much better than the digital replacements. Well, we have the digital assistants to help me out with some tasks around here. Um, I like being able to switch things a little bit, but I love sitting right here and having this conversation with you. It is very, very nurturing. Let's see what else we have. Mark says the AI was actually pretty good. You just need to teach them Spanish pronunciation. Well, it is a tricky thing, but you are absolutely right. Did you see any interesting wildlife in your travels on your trip? Not so much see as hear. We were in San Sebastián del Oeste, and the amount of bird calls was just crazy. From delightful little chirps to obnoxious chachalacas, it was so, so fun. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. Pam. Salam. I finally got to see the movie Conclave. Great actors and wonderful story with a twist. I totally recommend this film. I really, really do. And Emilia Perez is opening in theaters this Saturday. This Thursday. That would be tomorrow. So I'm probably going to go catch it on 2 for 1 Tuesday. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that film as well. And here we go. Paco, we are very excited about your music appreciation tomorrow, says Stan. For anyone attending Paco's show, we're offering free neurofeedback sessions in the hotel during the afternoon. Sign up at PV Neurofeedback's website or send me a message on Facebook. See you tomorrow. Well, I'll be so very happy to. First of all, thank you, Stan, for this wonderful synergy, and I'll be happy to include the neurofeedback website in the show notes, although it appears in the show notes already as part of our community partners. What a beautiful partnership. I love that. Let's see what else we have. Oh, thank you very much for that, Albert. And it was so much fun to travel with you as well. Your eyes. Every time I have the opportunity to travel through Mexico with someone that is seeing it for the first time, it is such a learning experience and it's such a nurturing experience. I thank you for that very much. Den says, our hearts are broken today. Our baby girl leaves again today to head back to San Diego. She and Kathy literally saved my life. Den, a couple of weeks ago, we thought we might not be reading your message today. I had a pleasure to spend time with you yesterday, and it's been a pleasure to be part of your path of recovery in the past couple of weeks. You are such an important part of my life, and I'm grateful that every day seems to be getting better. Yay. Let's see. Oh, of course. Logan says opera cakes is very on brand. You love opera and I love cake. Well, I actually love both. And I can tell you, I had my slice or my piece of opera cake last night as soon as I got home, and it was absolutely scrumptious. And there you have it. This is our presentation for today. This is our broadcast. It's so good to be back. It's great to be back in my surroundings. It's great to be back with my kitty. Needless to say, I have a lot of work ahead of me for the spotlight today and the presentation tomorrow. So again, indulge me a couple of days so that I have time to cook and process and edit all the video and photos I took during our getaway, and I will be so very happy to share with you. Between now and then, thank you for everything you bring to the table, your contributions, your subscriptions, your memberships, your commentary, your questions. Everything is so much appreciated. So have a great day, and maybe we'll cross paths this afternoon in the spotlight. And of course, as you know, it's open to the public if you're out and about the neighborhood surrounding the Joint Boutique Hotel. If you want to stop by, we'll be there live at 4 o'clock today. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.